Asterisk. Some people in the village became jealous. They whispered among themselves whenever they saw others praising her. "Why does everyone treat her like she is so special?" one of them would say. Another would reply bitterly, "She is just a girl like everyone else." Still, Abeni never noticed the jealousy around her. She continued living her life with kindness and humility. She believed that treating people well was simply the right thing to do. Years passed, and Abeni grew into a beautiful and responsible young woman. Her beauty was not only in her face, but in her character. She spoke gently, worked hard, and showed respect to everyone. Even travelers who visited the village would hear stories about the disciplined young lady everyone admired. In a quiet village surrounded by tall palm trees and dusty red roads, there lived a young girl named Abeni. From the day she was born, people in the community believed there was something special about her. She grew up in a small clay house with her parents, who were humble farmers. Though her family was not rich, they were respected because they were kind, honest, and hardworking. Abeni was known throughout the village for her discipline and good character. While other children sometimes argued or caused trouble, Abeni was always calm and respectful. She greeted every elder she saw, helped her mother with chores, and assisted neighbors whenever they needed help. If an old woman needed help carrying firewood, Abeni would rush to help. If a child fell while playing, she would be the first to run and lift them up. Because of her kindness, the entire community loved her deeply. The elders often said, "This girl has a heart as pure as the morning sun." The women in the market always gave her warm smiles, and the children admired her. But not everyone felt happy about the love Abeni received. One hot afternoon, Abeni's mother asked her to fetch water from the stream at the edge of the village. It was a task Abeni had done many times before. She picked up the clay water pot, wrapped a cloth around her head, and began the familiar walk down the narrow, dusty path. The sun was bright, and the wind was warm. Birds sang in the trees as she walked peacefully toward the stream. But on her way back, something terrible happened. As Abeni carried the heavy pot of water on her head and carefully stepped along the rocky path, her foot slipped on a loose stone. In a moment that felt like a blink, she lost her balance and fell hard down the slope beside the path. The clay pot shattered loudly. Abeni's body struck the rocks with a painful force. She cried out, but the forest around her swallowed the sound. Villagers passing nearby soon heard the noise and rushed toward the path. When they saw Abeni lying there, badly injured, they were horrified. "Quick, help her," one man shouted. They carefully lifted her and carried her toward the village. Blood stained her clothes, and she could barely move. News spread quickly throughout the community. People left their homes and shops to gather around the road as she was taken to the nearest hospital in the town. When the king of the community heard the news, he was shocked and deeply disturbed. The king had always admired Abeni's character and often spoke proudly about her kindness. "What do you mean she is badly injured?" the king asked with fear in his voice. "My king," a messenger said softly, "she fell on the rocky path while fetching water. The villagers have taken her to the hospital." The king stood up immediately. "Prepare my car," he ordered. "I must see her." At the hospital, doctors and nurses worked quickly to treat Abeni's injuries. She had broken bones and deep wounds from the fall. The king arrived soon after and spoke to the doctors with great concern. "Please," the king said, his voice heavy with worry, "do everything you can to save her. She is precious to this community." For several days, Abeni remained in the hospital. Many villagers came to visit her. Some prayed outside the hospital building, asking for her recovery. Even those who had once felt jealous began to feel guilty. Seeing the pain she was going through made them realize how much she truly meant to the village. Slowly, Abeni began to recover. The doctors said she was improving and would soon be able to return home. When she was finally discharged from the hospital, the community welcomed her with relief and joy. People gathered around her family's home, bringing food and gifts to support her recovery. The king himself visited and spoke kindly to her. "You are strong, my child," he told her gently. "The entire community is praying for your full recovery." Abeni smiled weakly and thanked everyone for their kindness. But although she appeared to be getting better, the injuries from the accident had caused deep internal pain. Some nights she could not sleep because of the discomfort in her body. Her family and neighbors did everything they could to help her. They prayed, encouraged her, and stayed by her side. Then, one quiet night, something heartbreaking happened. Abeni's pain suddenly became unbearable. Her breathing grew weak, and her body could no longer fight the damage caused by the accident. Before sunrise, Abeni passed away peacefully. When the news spread through the community, a deep silence fell over the village. People could not believe it. Women cried openly in the streets. Men stood quietly with heavy hearts. Children who once played with her asked their parents why such a good person had to leave so soon. The king himself was deeply saddened. When he heard the news, he removed his crown and sat in silence for a long time. "This is a great loss to our people," he said sadly. Abeni was a light in this community. The entire village came together for her funeral. Hundreds of people gathered to honor the young woman who had touched so many lives. Even those who once felt jealous stood among the mourners, tears running down their faces. They now understood that the love Abeni received was not because she was favored, it was because she truly deserved it. Though Abeni's life was short, the kindness she showed left a lasting memory in the hearts of everyone in the village. Years later, elders would still tell her story to the younger generation. They would say,